I'm back. I said I would be back by the time that they started, but I think Reynor needed a little breather as well after that game. And I think that's understandable. So as soon as Reynor is good to go, we are good to go. I'm sure that MaxPax is ready because he's been waiting for 45 minutes or so. Maybe an hour. There it is. Map 1, El Sione. I will start the prediction. I'll give you guys 5 minutes. We'll make it a straight up prediction. I don't think there's any need for handicaps here, one way or the other. Choose prediction outcome. 56% of you guys believe that Reynor was still going to win. Reynor did still win. Reynor versus MaxPax, best of 3 semi-finals. Obviously, old patch, old map pool. Reynor, MaxPax. Who is going to make it into the grand finals of this edition of the European Pro Tour Weekly. And duke it out with that kid who's always there. It is always that kid. Reynor obviously is still live, so you guys can still watch his first person view. MaxPax hasn't beaten Reynor in a best of series since November. That's what Bully says. So let's go ahead and take a look at those results then. I think that's fun. But that doesn't totally surprise me because I indeed don't remember any MaxPax victories. As I said, I feel like it's a stylistic thing because MaxPax really is good in this matchup in my eyes. 2, 4, 6. 6 in a row for Reynor. 2-0, 2-1, 3-2, 2-0, 2-1, 2-1. I was watching Wardy's stream earlier today and I had his volume pretty loud on my phone because I was walking around the house. And Wardy was reading out the League results. And it was like, Dark 2-1, Dark 2-1, Dark 2-1, Dark 2-0, Dark 2-1, Dark 2-1, Dark 2-0, Dark 3-0, Dark 2-1. Vicky looked at me and she's like, what the hell is happening? Is he broken? And I was like, no. I was like, Wardy, you probably could have just said Dark and then read out the numbers rather than say Dark, 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 Dark. It felt like there was a glitch in the Matrix there on Wardy's stream. It was funny. It was funny if you were there. I'm sure some of you guys were there. Because I know you nerds are passionate and watch everything. Did Cristiano make a tweet? I don't think he tweeted today. No. I think Cristiano knows that, sure, Gabe made a great comeback. And that obviously things could have gone a little bit better for him if he would have been a bit more patient. But sometimes in tournaments you just get excited, right? You feel like you've got your opponents on the rope. You're just like, alright, it's going to be a long night. Let's just go ahead and get him out of there. And Gabe did a fantastic job on El Sione. While we are waiting, by the way, guys, for the semifinals, I would like you guys to do something for me. Actually, you don't have to do anything for me. But what I want you guys to know is that I have uploaded the grand finals of the last edition of the European Pro Tour Weekly on the YouTube channel. If you just type in RotterdaM 08, you'll find it, so you can watch it back. Last week, we had a best of 5 between Reynor and Clem. I thought it was a really good series. I enjoyed it. And this, I'm going to try to make a tradition where the following Monday, I will post the best series of the previous Monday. So we'll try to do that every single week at like 12. I don't know yet what I'm going to pick this week. Awesome Reynor was awesome, but that Hero Marine Cristiano game was fantastic. So we're going to try to do that every single week. My man Prometheum has been putting in some work. And according to him, we need some viewing hours. So if you guys ever want to click on anything, let it run for a little bit. That would make me very happy. And we're also going to just cast a couple of replays, random ladder replays of pro players, amateurs. Just try to have some uploads and have some fun with it. Will it ever go anywhere, Roddy? No. No promises, but we're going to do our best. Apparently 4,000 hours is what you need before you can make $10 a month. So that's what we go for. Big dreams, guys. Big dreams. Avery Laser says, I feel like this could just be Reynor, MaxPax, and Clem each week. The entire rest of the record is just to see who will lose to one of them in the round of 4. I mean, that still means that everybody else plays for $50. But obviously, in the spirit of competition, you need to let matches play. I'm sure that we can say the same for the Champions League, right? We can basically start every single season with Man City, Paris Saint-Germain, Barcelona, Real Madrid, and 2 other Premier League teams, and then 1 offside team in the round of 8. But we still start with qualifiers in the round of 32. Competition is important. And people get very angry in StarCraft if you do too many invitationals. Like, it's the same players every week or every tournament if they get invited. So you need to have open tournaments so that the players that are the best, that do get invited sometimes, can show why they get invited. Open tournaments are important, even if we know that Clem, Reynor and MaxPax are better than the rest if Serral does not play.
Let's get it on. Round 1, fight!
Bottom left side of Alcyone, we are looking at the main base of the man who I think is great in this matchup, but he does not seem to do very well against Reynor. Will today be different? PSISTORM, Gaming's MaxPax. And in the top right side, we are looking at the main base of the Italian Stallion. Clearly, he is world class and he's good against everything, but he is struggling with Protoss at the moment, especially certain Protoss styles. Are we going to see more of that in the semis? This is BASILISK Reynor. And I will go ahead and give you guys a little link for the people who don't like typing things in YouTube. But now I'm just waiting for the 2-minute delay to kick in. Seems like Wingen is talking about it, so we're going to do it now. New tradition for the Mondays, and we're going to do our best with it. This was the video that was uploaded today. Bam, bam, bam. There's our man Prom. You know it. He's always watching. I don't know yet what series we're going to do from this edition though, Prom. It's been a fucking good weekly. There's no other way to put it. Maybe we should have a vote at the end of the night. What was the most entertaining part of this weekly? And then we'll dispose that the following week. Like, subscribe, and hit that follow button. The YouTube algorithm hates me because I say bad things about Jeff Bezos. Just kidding. I don't think YouTube would care. But I'd never say anything bad about my man Bezos. Bezos, get your Can't say that. Oh no. We've broken NDA, guys. No one will catch that. Bezos, get your Bezos here. It's very funny to me. One day it will be funny to you guys. But not yet. Yes, Dr. Aaron. Prom will tell you all about it. Prom is a captain. He actually flies planes. So he's a pilot. He's not a captain. And while he travels around the world, he has a lot of spare time. He spends time in certain places. He's been many times. And he says, Roddy, let me go ahead and do something with some of your videos. And I said, are you sure, mate? He said, yes. I don't mind. I like it. I like StarCraft. So, full-time pilot, part-time, Roddy pleaser. What a man. Chrome team. Absolute stud. Actually made it to Zuidland, guys. Believe it or not. Not to fly a plane here. We don't have an airfield. But MaxPax opening up with the Adepts and Oracles. That is not surprising. What I love about MaxPax, his PvZ, guys, is the way that he moves those Adepts around in the first 5-6 minutes. The way that he flies around with his Oracles. Whoa. I thought that would be safe. And I'm sure that MaxPax thought that was going to be safe as well. Now in the end, he's going to lose both Adepts unless... No! Oh my god, Dana White, what do you say about that?
That's fucking illegal.
What the hell was even that? You think he's gonna lose both? He loses nothing. If that was on purpose and that was bait, greatest bait in history, but that was not on purpose. I'm sure that MaxPax thought that the Adepts here were in a choke point and that the Lynx could only attack from here at first. That wasn't the case. Reynor gets the wraparound and then somehow loses all the Lynx. MaxPax is like, hey guys.
Are you not entertained?
I am. I'm not sure if Reynor is. The YouTube channel, obviously. Twitch, it does not matter. Twitch, we're set, guys. Set for life, baby. If all of you guys stick around. 4 Adepts and 2 Oracles are looking for an opening. One of these Adepts is very low in HP. MaxPax cancels the shade. Has a Resonating Glaive Adept follow-up. Maybe he took a look at that previous best of 3. Oh, one Oracle! Oh my god, is that a 1 HP Oracle? It is! RotterdaM had a 1 HP Oracle flying here against Reynor. MaxPax has a 1 HP Oracle flying against Reynor. If you're Reynor, you're gonna be so freaking annoyed about this game so far. First 2 Adepts survive with 4 and what is it? 6 HP. And now for the second time today, there is a 1 HP Oracle flying around. Your first officer. Sorry, mate. I'm not totally aware of your rank. All I know is that you're awesome. Can be both a captain and a pilot. Alright. 12 adepts with glaive. Reynor has no Baling Nest, no Roach Warren. Oh. Yeah, exactly. Reynor has not scouted this follow-up and was probably expecting something like Blink Stalkers. It is not. And when I said I think Reynor is fuming a little over this game, I think this shows that he is fuming. Should he have left there, well, he's going to be omega far behind. Even if MaxPax has bad execution, Reynor is going to be pretty far behind. But I think that's a little bit of tilt. The tilt of the adepts leaving first. Living, rather. And leaving the center of the map. And then that Oracle surviving with 1 HP. I mean, that just... That's a tilter. So MaxPax takes the 1-0 lead against the man who's lately had his number. But that man also absolutely hates the aliens at the moment. Will it be another Reynor Clam Grand Finals? Or are we going back to what we were used to for a little while? And that is a MaxPax Clam Grand Finals. And game 2 is going to be played on side Delta. Reynor is going to A, have to clean it up, but B, StarCraft is a game of skill. We all agree that it's a game of skill. That's why we love it. That's why we still watch it 14 years after it got released. But it doesn't mean that every now and then you can't get lucky, right? Sometimes you get a bit lucky, sometimes unlucky. You barely scout something, you barely get a unit, you barely not. Reynor got pretty unlucky in that game. I think we can all agree on that. Round 2.
Round 2. Fight!
This is indeed a best of 3. If you guys ever wonder, Roddy, what is it? The best of 3, best of 5, best of 7? It's always here, guys, between the score of the series. 0 for Reynor, 1 for MaxPax, BO3. It was a best of 5, it would say best of 5. It's best of 7, it says 7, 9, it says 9. This is a best of 3. The grand finals, however, are always best of 5 in this tournament. There was a time that the semifinals were best of 5s as well, but that would legitimately make this tournament go on forever. We'd sit here sometimes till like 1:30 a.m. I think that's just a bit too much for the players. Bit too much for the viewers as well. We have a lot of European viewers, and it obviously sucks if you guys tune in at 6 p.m. and you're excited to watch some games, but the following morning you got school, university, family obligations, whatever. And then at like midnight you just kind of gotta call it a day. Most people will even call it a day a bit earlier. Sucks if you're watching something for 5 or 6 hours and you have no closure. Thanks, by the way, to my man Brett as well for the 52 months, mate. I hope all is good in Down Under. Did you manage to attend the race, by the way? I don't know if you're a big F1 guy or not, but... What is the biggest ST2 conspiracy? I think that depends a lot what angle you're gonna look from. Feel free to share a couple of conspiracies that you guys have. One of my favorites, because it's so fucking stupid, I think Zombie Grub loves this one as well, because this is really insane, is that for a little while there was a squad of individuals on Team Liquid, and I think some of them made it over to Reddit too, that believed we were hyping up foreign players because Blizzard paid us money to hype up foreign players. I mean, there are people out there that believed in that. I was like, if that was true, I'll get a clam tattoo right now and I'll tell you guys all about how fucking good he is. When I read that, I was like, I don't even want to respond. This is too stupid. Like, in what universe is there someone out there that's like, yeah, a Blizzard employee sits down with the cast and is like, hey, 100 extra bucks if you guys tell the people that this Serral guy is very good. Yeah, that sounds very realistic. Cheerios, Pantera. Hopefully you're having a great time, mate. Love you too. MaxPax is gonna shade his first adept into the main base of Reynor. Reynor has been playing ZVP now for 4.5 hours straight. The first one was probably very difficult too against Blood Milan. After that it was Gerald, Hearthstone, and now MaxPax. Yeah, definitely some conspiracies about MaxPax right now, but none of them are very relevant. MaxPax really just is a Danish dude who does not want to put his face or name on the internet. And that really isn't that crazy. It's different, we're not very used to it, but yeah, it's not the strangest thing ever. The world is a pretty crazy place these days. Reynor shows up, and that might change one day, but for now, that's how it is. Reynor shows up with his links. He's going to delay this Nexus for a tiny bit. I think overall, it's not just Reynor, to be fair, dude. Reynor is not the only one. I think that Lamboni Laser are also on that same page. It's just a difficult matchup at the moment. And a lot of Protoss players will even tell you that Protoss is good against Zerg. Hero said it, Hearthstone says it. So, you know, maybe it's... Just because Serral wins, that doesn't mean that Zerg is always favored. But Yona guys is very, very good. Revelation gets dropped and one of the Cryptomers is gonna get picked off. So far Reynor having a pretty clean start to this game, not losing any drones. And you lose 1 or 2, that's acceptable, but you don't want to see that -5. 2 is okay. For this much damage on the Oracle, 2 is more than fine. What would a Clem tattoo even look like? I think I would just tattoo Liquid Clump, and then in smaller font below it, the guy that everyone is talking about. Be a banger tattoo, to be honest.
Liquid Clam.
I don't have the longer version anymore.
Liquid Clam.
I don't have it. What a shame. I have it somewhere, but not here. Reynor, I think, doing a very good job in positioning his units in the correct way, giving MaxPax very little to be hopeful of. MaxPax, his follow-up is going to be the Zealot Charge +1. We've seen it a couple of times today. It's important for Reynor that he has something that is good against Zealots with +1. Could be Banelings, could be Roaches. We have a Roach 1, so it will most likely be Roaches. Reynor has that Overlord sitting. It's kind of funny because the Stalker sees that Overlord, but both players are very focused on the little skirmishes that are happening on the other side of the map. Templar Archive is done already, by the way. These adepts are going to get surrounded. Seems like MaxPax does not want to recall them, so he's just looking for some drones. Probably going to get 2 here. Gets 2, make it 3. 1 more than I thought. Oracles looking for an opening. Reynor very quick with the pull. Only a single queen means that MaxPax can grab 2 more. It's not much, but it's starting to add up. 6 in total, 7 minutes into the game. Nothing to be mega unhappy about if you're Reynor. Even though MaxPax, by the way, has +1 and has Zealot Charge, it's also just getting all the tech. Double Robo, Robo Bay, Archons. How long do I think StarCraft 2 will last? For as long as Blizzard makes sure that the servers continue to run. Now when it comes to a circuit, a pro scene, a lot of people watching on Twitch, I don't know. I hope for a long time. I do think it's still a very good game. I don't think there's any reason to assume it's going to end anytime soon. Well, you never know what the future brings. Reynor surrounds one of the Archons, by the way. MaxPax does not load it into the War Prism. I would say that's an uncharacteristic mistake by the Prince of Denmark, as he now loses the second Archon as well. Loses the Observer. The wheels are coming off a little bit for our boy here. I don't know what that was, guys. It was a attack while being down in supply, investing in double Robo and a Robo Bay that Reynor knew about, Reynor was ready for. Oh, Reynor just handled that a whole lot better than MaxPax. I wouldn't even really agree with that, Viracocha. I don't think that the TVP troubles are as bad as a lot of people make them out to be. Which I know is an unpopular opinion, but that's just in my eyes the way it is. People focus too much on results and they only look at scores and statistics rather than look at the games. And I feel like if you look at the games, it is not as bad as people make it out to be. Terran a little advantage, sure. Terran a late game advantage, like proper late game, absolutely. As this Nova has potential. But MaxPax is still just so far down in army supply. He's gonna need a few more big balls. This one could be massive. It's not that big. It just kind of softens up a couple queens in the end. Now the Zealots are gonna show up. They're gonna try to do their best. The Archon and the Immortal are putting in some work. We need battery overcharge, but where are we going to activate it? We're gonna activate it in the third. It's a pretty good job by MaxPax so far, but he's still so far down in supply. Novas could turn that around. Reynor has roaches running into the natural. As the Robo is unpowered, at least one of the two Robos. And now the roaches and Ravagers are just in overwhelming numbers in the third. Cannons are great, batteries are great, but MaxPax needs a little more, and I'm afraid he has lost a few too many key units. It's been an exhausting Monday, guys. This one is over. Reynor with 100 supply lead is going to be able to tie things up. And MaxPax will be taking a look at this replay perhaps later and be wondering, what was I doing over here? It's a good question. Reynor left early. MaxPax is leaving very, very late. A little bit of a difference in attitude between these two, eh, guys? MaxPax has 3 bases that are currently burning and going up in flames, and he's like, well, got 2 Archons, got 2 Immortals, and a Prism, I believe. Then he took a look at his supply and his work account, and he's like, oh, okay, maybe I won't. GG gets called, and it's Reynor who ties things up. The weekly that shall never end, will never end. Maybe StarCraft 2 will live as long as this weekly. Yeah, honestly, guys, then I feel like we have a bright future ahead of us. Another semi-finals game, a grand finals, best of 5. It's going to be amazing. This is the semi-finals, yeah. Sounds like dinner is being made. Dinner was made during that previous series. That's why I was sometimes a bit distracted, because I could smell it. It smelled great. And I'm obviously naturally pretty hungry after streaming for 5 hours and 20 minutes. But I took a few bites of it in my break. And it's awesome. So I cannot wait to have my midnight feast. And before you guys say, Rodder, just eat right now. Just not that big of a fan of that. Then I sit here with a plate, I'm gonna spill, I'm gonna make stuff dirty, and I look like a pig, and you guys are gonna make fun of me, and then I enter the food coma right when we enter the finals. It's just a no-brainer. We're keeping ourselves hungry. Final round of the semi-finals.
Final round. Fight!
Top left side of Heartlet. We are looking at the main base of the man. That's representing PSISTORM Gaming. A very clean, perhaps a bit fortunate game 1. Bit of an unlucky game 2. Where he just dropped the ball in a very uncharacteristic way. Lost an Archon underneath the War Prism. Then lost another Archon in a push that overall didn't make too much sense to me. If we're going up to 4 bases, we got a double Robo. We got a Robo Bay. Why are we attacking with 2 Archons and 5 Zealots? Yes, someone is lagging. Kabi Rage. No, we don't know. Top left side, MaxPax. Bottom right side, the Italian Stallion. He is going to dream about lasers, zealots, and perhaps an ultra saving the day tonight. Basilisk Reynor. 4.5 hours of non-stop ZVP for him tonight. If he makes it through this marathon of Protoss players, Blood Milan into Gerald, into Hearthstone, into MaxPax, he's going to be able to dance with Clem in the grand finals. Clem is probably going to try to make this grand finals real short so he can actually sign up and play in the American Weekly. It's like, Reynor, can we turn this into a best of 3, man? Like, I've got another tournament to win. Yeah, so BO, we had this new seating system come into play today, and because of the new seating system, the bracket didn't go live at 6, but it actually went live at like 6:15, which is not a big deal, I guess. But then we just also had a lot of very long games, and maybe because it took so long for the bracket to be released, some people decided to play another ladder game, so then more things are delayed. But we also just had very long games. Bottom side of the bracket has been done for a little while. Top side still going. Clem waiting in the grand finals. Are we going to have another Reynor Clem? Or is it MaxPax Clem time? I don't even really know what I'm hoping for. Like, on one hand, I'm hoping for Reynor, because he's my teammate, he's my friend, I like to see him do well. And I also really don't want to get another essay in my DMs about how stupid Protoss is. On the other hand, I hope for MaxPax, because MaxPax has been losing so many games against Reynor that I think it's kind of sad. I kind of want to see him win one for the confidence. And PvT finals would also be fun. So, Vicky made fried rice for the first time ever. She has never done it. She was very nervous, because she made chicken and rice once, and she is convinced that I said it sucked, which is not true. I absolutely did not say that it sucked. I just said it was different than the way that my mommy used to make it. I don't make anything myself. So she was nervous about doing it, but I just took a couple bites, and I think she did a 10 out of 10 job. I really like it, and I'm excited for it. Pig is really handsome, though. Why are you guys spamming about Piggy to me? What did I say about Pig? I don't think I said anything bad about Pig. Oh, that I look like a pig. I wish I would look like that pig, guys. Yes, Australian Pig is very handsome. I often tell him at offline events, I'm like, you fucker, why are you looking so good? Pig, can you just go ahead and gain like 10 kilograms and grow a beard and wear an old t-shirt? Like, what the fuck? You're making all of us feel self-conscious. He is indeed very handsome. You guys will get some ASMR. Maybe on our 12-year partner anniversary, we'll eat some hot wings on stream. Ordered some buffalo sauce. As Reynor with a couple links, guys, grabs the first probe that was meant to warp in a third nexus. No, NA Weekly does not wait for the European one. I am sure that whoever is in the finals, if they really want to play NA2, they can get a pass, as this is a decent start for MaxPax. So it would have been very decent if he gets 2 drones. Now he gets 1, but it's a lot of lost mining time, and I do truly believe that people still sleep on the impact that this has on your Zerg build order. Sometimes I even feel like it's better to just lose an additional drone than to see that many drones not doing their thing. Double kill. That's sweet.
Double kill.
2 drones hatch, 2 drones die. 1 more Oracle is going to try to get lucky in the main base. Reynor with the transfuse saves the drone. Perhaps even a second one. I still like this start for MaxPax though. I feel like it's a lot better than Side Delta. Right. EPT Korea Live is often on Wadi stream. So that starts at like 10 AM for the Europeans and goes to like 2 or 3 PM. I think Biomorph cast it as well. He's in the chat. Give him a follow. I think Steadfast sometimes does it. And that's about it. Maybe Cranky Ducklings, because that man is very passionate. He's everywhere. So Cranky Ducklings, Crank, if he can still stream. Hopefully he can. Those are the main guys that cover the Korean Weekly. Reynor with a tiny run by finds a lot of damage, but if you take more damage at home, then I don't know if this is really that great. Now this is great, don't get me wrong. MaxPax is kind of under yeah, now he's forced to recall. I think we're recalling at depths. This is a lot of damage. The Oracle's finding more damage in the natural, in the third base. Both of them just swinging. I feel like this exchange was okay for Reynor. Perhaps even more than okay. Maybe it was even great for Reynor. Earlier it wasn't too good. I think this was good. With a single shield battery, MaxPax's life would have been so much easier. He knows that, and because of that, he's gonna build a shield battery now. You guys are so dramatic. I don't know what kind of relationships you guys have, but F's in the chat for all of you. If you are not even allowed to say that something is different, well, then I'd rather die miserable and alone, I'll be honest. Communication is important, guys. Blinken +1 on the way for MaxPax as he has warped in the Robo Bay. Yes, the infestation pit is going to finish up on the side of Reynor. And we have a Hydralisk then close to finishing up as well. Reynor has been very fond of making Hydrolink Bane attacks through the center of Heartland, then running into storms, cannons and batteries, falling very far behind, and then trying to bring it back with lurkers. Sometimes successfully, sometimes unsuccessfully. It seems that he has picked up on the fact that those attacks are not really going to get the job done, and it might be better to just rush into a hive. Save those units. Focus on the defense. Tiny pokes with the links once more. If he gets a cancel, that'd be big. Oracle is going to try to save this Nexus. Stalkers are battling. Nexus does get saved. Now it's up to Reynor to make sure that he also saves his hatchery. Extended Thermal and single Robo though. I kind of feel like if you want to play Colossus, you're going to have to go double Robo, no? Colossus takes so long to produce. You need War Prisms, you need Observers. You maybe need an Immortal if the Roach count ever gets high or Lurkus gets out. MaxPax really wants this hatch and he gets it. As he's also distracting Reynor with a couple of adapts in the back of the natural. These adapts will focus at the right units towards the end. Big pickoff. Reynor is now a 3-base Zerg, 8 minutes into the game. After taking some pretty decent economic damage in the beginning. Finding one little victory with the Lynx, but losing the hatch, not killing the Nexus. Big dubs for MaxPax. Can MaxPax do what he has not been able to do in the last 6 best of 3s that these two guys played against each other? And that is find a win against Reynor. He is looking for back-to-back cancels. Maybe a stasis trap here would have actually been a cool play. Does not go for it. Reynor's trying to set up a surround, but that does not work as MaxPax has the Oracles, activates Pulsar Beam. Colossus gets picked off by Zerglings. Yes. And no, guys, I'm not wrong. That is actually what happened there. Colossus gets rallied into the main army, but since Reynor is always active with Zerglings around the map, he has more than enough Zerglings to just surround a Colossus. And of course, Colossus can escape, but could not escape to safety. Big pickoff. It's gonna give Reynor some much needed time to get more Lurkers online, and more importantly, get the Hive Tech upgrades online. Seismic Spines close to finishing up, and we're gonna get Adaptive Talents as well. It says RotterdaM, Philippines. Oh, MaxPax, hello mate. Those are Lurkers. MaxPax realized that those were Lurkers. I feel like it's so crazy that he's on one Robo. Am I the only one who's fascinated by this? Alright. So Roddy, you get 2 more. Yeah, fine. I can live with that. Well, Chess, when you said that 2 minutes ago, I bet you didn't expect a bunch of Zerglings to kill a Colossus, did you? I'll be honest, mate. I didn't see that one coming either. You're very dramatic, Mulder. Hey, mate, there's just a chance. Like, I don't really believe that there is such a thing as a woman feel. Like, what are there? 3.5, 4 billion women on this planet? There is no such thing as all women feel. No. People are different. And maybe you have very different communications with your lady than I have with mine. Or you with your man than I have with mine. I am a nice man. But I will be honest. But I never said it was bad. Anyway, moving on, guys. This is silly. You guys weren't there, okay? Reynor is going to try to set up a sexy engagement with Lurkers in the bottom side of the map, as he's also trying to distract MaxPax with a few Lurkers that are working on the natural. MaxPax is trying to get some value out of that triple Robo, as he's cranking out Disrupt. This first Nova, really good. Softens up the vast majority of these Lurkers. Yeah, that's a hold. Now Reynor says, can you also hold in the center? With Battery Overcharge, I mean, Battery Overcharge and Immortals is insane. Battery Overcharge and Stalkers, not quite the same. Reynor does not have any Vipers yet. I don't think he really has had the money or the economy to crank out Vipers. MaxPax now just looking to fire some Novas. Reynor trying to split Lurkers. One cannon there, very important to keep that cannon alive. Unfortunately for MaxPax, he cannot. Now loses 15 pros. He's gonna take this fight. Is this the fight to take? Well, maybe with some fantastic Novas, but I don't really know. Hydras, Lurkers against Stalkers, Colossus and Disruptors. Another fantastic Nova. I think it's a very close competitive fight. But as long as these Colossus survive, then MaxPax doesn't have to worry too much. Can obviously sacrifice this base to start mining up the top right. A big victory for Reynor though. Reynor gets what he is looking for. And what I honestly have noticed today is that I feel that the way Reynor is burrowing his Lurkers is a whole lot better than he did it a couple of days ago. Maybe he has taken a look at some of those losses and he has analyzed some of these fights where maybe he felt he should have done better than what he actually did. I like the way he sieges up today a lot more than the way he did it against Hero or Showtime in the Star Wars qualifier, etc. Shout out to Philip Business for the 2 months. I appreciate it, matey. all Protoss feel? No. Not even all the Protoss players feel the same. Or the Zergs. They might feel something, but they don't all feel the same way. Three Vipers on the way. Or 3 Vipers out, full of energy. Reynor is wondering, is it time to send it one more time? Can we get a great fight? MaxPax has 3 High Templars looking for feedbacks. Lands 1. That's pretty big. Reynor lands 1 abduct. Less big. Revelation super important here. MaxPax not missing them. Colossus gets abducted. Nova. Sweet Nova in my opinion. Softens up a couple of the lurkers. Kills a few Hydras. As the stasis trap is going to keep the center base safe for now. Today is just a bizarre day in the weekly. There are so many long, competitive, feisty games that are truly on the knife's edge and couldn't go either way. Nice patch. This is the old patch, mate. I don't even know what you're complaining about, but whatever it is, stop it. You're looking at a mega competitive series between one of the best Protoss and one of the best Zergs in Europe. And balance is where you're going. When the score is 1-1 as well, and they're both maxed out and they can both still win the final game. Like, I don't even know what we are complaining about. What side are we complaining for? As Hydras, Lings and Lurkers are going to get on the top right side base, so MaxPax is going to be forced to sacrifice this base once more, but it's better to lose a base than to lose a base and the army in the entire game. If you ever find yourself out of position, or if you're just waiting for big investments like the Mothership, extra Immortals to come online, just wait. Lurker count is 17. MaxPax one of the very few Protosses who likes Disruptors apparently in the late game. I like Disruptors too, but that's just because my units don't live like Showtime's units. So it's cool to see that the two absolute best Protosses in Europe have a very different approach to this matchup. It's almost like it's a night and day difference between MaxPax and Showtime. And some things will look similar, oracles, adepts, etc. But the way they go about things in the mid game and early late game is very, very different. Reynor, his bank is pretty large. 4,800 minerals, 2.8k gas. This plus 3 missile attacks is going to come online. MaxPax is just chilling. He probably feels that this game comes down to one fight. I don't really know if this is the kind of game that's going to come down to one fight. With the current bank that MaxPax has, yes, if he loses a fight, he's dead. But I also believe that this game could slow down a little, some poking and prodding to make Loco proud. And then we'll get a few more bases online. Clem in good shape right now, though he's in the grand finals. So I assume that at the bare minimum he's alright. Clem is pretty good, yes. Now Clem has been traveling a little bit. I know he's been playing some different video games as well. But Clem is pretty damn good. Why is there a Colossus in the center of the map? We don't know. What we do know is that it's dead. What we also know is that a bunch of Lurkers and Hydras are dead. To the Purification Novas. Carriers are on the way. Right now, Reynor does not have too much anti-air. Reynor says, ha! Joke's on you, Roddy. 20 Corruptors. It's like, alright. Reynor has a lot of anti-air. Why are their probes dying? Zealous getting on top of full energy queens in the main, and 2 queens die. MaxPax in the end picks up 4 of these Zealous, and he's going to push back the creep a little. Doesn't want to overstep his boundaries. Worried about getting surrounded, I guess. Getting flanked by scary Zerg armies, but Reynor, his units are positioned very, very defensively. So Broodlord Lurker, Corruptive Viper. That used to be very good. I'm going to assume it's still pretty damn good. Absolutely not Metachoba. We've done that a few times. I will eventually do it one more time. Like stay up till 5-6 AM. But we're not gonna do that today. No back-to-back shifts for me. I'm old, mate. These days are exhausting. And I have to wake up early tomorrow because I'm getting a new fence in the backyard. One of the carriers is going to get picked off in the center of the map by Corruptus, and there wasn't even a single abduct. What we do have is Nova's Reynor not really paying attention. Could have been worse. Move him! Okay, somehow only loses one. A lot of them low in HP. MaxPax could obviously try something cool and creative with the mothership, and right when I say that, he is splitting this mothership off. He's taking a look, dropping some revelations. The funny thing is that as a Zerg, you really have to respect the idea of MaxPax recalling everything into your main. But you also need to move your units into the correct position against this army. Reynor knows about this move, and Reynor is just going to go for this mothership immediately. He says, MaxPax, I'm not buying it. Now, if I was MaxPax, I would maybe be a little more aggressive here. Perhaps it's the Broodlords that really scare him, as he only has 2 carriers. MaxPax's army currently is very good on the ground, but is not consisting of a crazy amount of units that are great against Broodlords, or Corruptus for that matter. Carriers have +2 air weapons right now. Viper's looking for abducts, but the feedbacks are great. With or without the rapid fire buff, guys, we are landing feedbacks. This is crazy. Bunch of Zerglings without adrenal glands, by the way, getting on top of this base. MaxPax takes a look at this center army, but that is not an army that I think he can really fight yet. Even if the Lurkers are helping out with the Nexus 2. I mean, Reynor is kind of outmaneuvering MaxPax. Without a single big fight, Reynor is getting multiple victories across the board in the last few minutes. And MaxPax, he feels a little bit confused, a little stuck. Now losing probes, guys, could turn this into the ultimate Terran play. Where at one point our worker count is so small that we got 160 army supply, and then we A-move some Protoss. MaxPax feels that it's his time to split up the army. Reynor can't really save this hatch for now. It's a 20-minute game, but it's a game that could easily go on for another 20 minutes. Because this base has an insane amount of resources left. This base has all the resources left. This one has almost all the resources left. Same goes for the 3 o'clock base and the 7 or 8 o'clock base. So, yes, this is a long game. Yes, Reynor is rich and MaxPax is not, but this could still go on for a little while longer. It could also end in the near future if MaxPax takes a really bad fight. The Archons are going to try to get underneath the Corruptus, but that is not quite working out, and MaxPax is going to lose pretty much his entire air army. What do we do now, MaxPax? Do we just stop building carriers altogether? Do we even have money to rebuild? MaxPax says, alright, back to Stalkers, baby. I don't give a damn. How many Lurkers are left? Only 3. Guys, Reynor has a ridiculous amount of anti-air at the moment, but doesn't have a whole lot of anti-ground. And the problem could very well be Immortals, Disruptors, High Templars, Archons, and Storm. A lot more than the problem is a couple carriers, or Tempest. So Reynor also loses another base, but yeah, he's still rich, and MaxPax isn't. One Lurker having a field day here. So what's the income looking at right now? 800 minerals. So MaxPax basically has a 1 base economy. Reynor has close to 1 base economy. We're not very rich, guys. It's less than 1 base economy. It's a 22-minute game. But normally these guys will be mining more at minute 3 than they currently are. MaxPax is down 44 army supply. That's a serious amount. How many observe? Aye, that's not what you can do. Every single unit is mega important right now for the Prince of Denmark, because he's just so freaking broke that even Stalkers become very expensive units. And Reynor, his lurker count has grown again from 3 all the way back up to 12. An Oracle casually flying into this 3 o'clock base, gunning down a couple of drones. Whew. Broodlords are on a little adventure through the center of the map. 9 of them in total, 4 lurkers to support them. MaxPax has a big army below this army of Reynor, but who is flanking who? I mean, Reynor probably just wants to deny this base. MaxPax says, maybe I can deny yours? It's not gonna work. Walks up this ramp, has an observer in the mix, not too many lurkers, a fungal landing as well. As the Nova goes forward, cancels one of these morphing lorcas, but this is where these speedy Broodlords will come in handy. Reynor may not love the Neo Broodlord because it deals a lot less damage than it used to, but it is very good in this. You can actually kind of attack with it and then still defend with it at the same time. As MaxPax, his second army on the right side of the map, is looking for some big storms or a hatch. Gets a lurker. I feel like we have been building Tempest for the last 3 hours and somehow we have won. Not sure where they have all died, but... Alright, MaxPax will just leave after not being able to deny or to get a base up and running. Reynor gets the job done. Killed 2 Tempests prior to this after 24 minutes. It is Reynor who wins a low eco game against MaxPax. And once more gets the best of the Danish Zerg. Reynor hates the aliens. But after 5 hours of non-stop battling versus Zealots, Stalkers, Oracles and Adepts, the Italian Stallion gets it done for the 7th time in a row against MaxPax. And we will have the same grand finals as we had last week. Reynor versus Clem, best of 5, winner gets $200, loser gets $100. It's been a long Monday. I'm going to go ahead and take a little break. After that, I'll be back. Reynor Claymore coming up. I can't settle their prediction yet, but an Oracle. Shut up, Kevin. Nobody cares.